welcome to my channel. This is Amy. Thanks so much for stopping by. I am going to show you how I paint a very loose floral design on this green glass wine bottle. I am going to be using two Amagic paintbrushes. They're both flat brushes. One is a number 4, the other one is a number 6. And then I'm going to be using a dotting stylus. You can use anything you like to make dots with. You don't actually have to have a specific stylus. You can use a toothpick, brush handle, whatever your choice is. And then number 4, Deerfoot Stippler. All the paints I'm using are FolkArt paints. I'm using Wicker White, Moon Yellow, Fresh Foliage, Lime Green, Thicket, and Cerulean Blue. Alright, again, we're going to go ahead and get started. I've already cleaned the bottle. I wash it with soap and water. Of course, take off the tags, any of the tags. I use Goopy Gone, Dawn to go. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and get started with the number 6 Amagic paintbrush. I'm going to begin by doing the floral flower part. I'm going to be double loading my brush with the cerulean blue and then just tipping it into each side, or I can just go like this into it as much as to determine how much I want of the white on my brush. Just get a good coat. You can even do a few blending strokes outside. If you want more of the darker, more of the lighter, just tip them in and start making your design. Alright, so I've already created this design on paper, which is what I typically do. And I'm just going to do the front part of the bottle. This is basically, just to give you an idea how you can create the design, not really do the entire bottle. That would be for a very long video, and I don't really want to bore you. But I'm just taking my brush, just doing more of a ruffly kind of a stroke. When I come back in here like this, I am going to turn my brush and have the darker part coming up. And this for me is just to give it some contrast. That's all. It's the only reason why I do that. When you reverse the colors in different directions, that kind of tends to help just kind of create a different look. Now when I say roughly, what I mean by that is because I'm turning my brush and going like this, and then just barely going up and down, just with some slight pressure. And I'm sorry, my air conditioner is starting up here, but I'm just going like this and then turning my brush, and that just creates more of a ruffly style petal. This is not a specific flower. It's just a design of a flower, so I'm not really trying to recreate like a pansy or whatnot. It's just a design. More about the brush strokes than it is about the flower itself, if that makes sense. And you can become creative too with your designs. Get inspiration. I get a lot of inspiration from Pinterest or other designs that I see, when I watch videos. And that's fine, and then you just kind of have to add your own touch to them. So you're getting an idea, but you're not totally copying somebody else's, I guess is the point. Then I'm going to go through the center. I am going to still keep my brush going in the same direction as far as, I didn't turn it like this one, because I could have actually created the center with the darker blue at the top. If you get too much paint in your brush, just wipe it off and then just continue. Again, I'm just doing slight wiggles And I can keep adding color as I go. I just want it to be very loose. And that's what you're getting here with this. It's not, has to be anything precise, shape-wise, color-wise. It's just kind of fun and loose. That, oops, sorry. Alright, if you feel like when you're painting that your design is not getting good coverage, I'm all about the coverage. I like it to be opaque. Reason being is that that will give it more durability. So like for this design, because you're going over it and layering over it, you do get nice coverage. I'm just kind of going over it a little bit more. You can add some more white in it if you want, but I think it's good just the way it is. Alright, so then the next thing I'm going to do is come down here and just do some little buds. Again, I'm going to be doing the same kind of wiggly motion here. Not making them too big. I guess I just went back in and added a little bit more white to the tip of the brush. And then I'm just going to come through here and add, I can come up here too a little bit, just add a little piece that goes around it. Again, just doing the little ruffly, just coming back and forth, doing a little ripple there. If I want a little bit more white in it, I can do that. And then I'm going to do that again. And then do it over here. Now when I'm selling these bottles, I do actually go all the way around them for this style of bottle. When I'm doing a Jägermeister bottle, no, I don't, because they're flat. Alright, so then I have my buds. Cute? Yes, it is. Alright, so then the next thing I'm going to do, now I can hit this with the hair dryer, which I think I'm going to just to dry up the center just a little bit, not a lot, and then I will tap in my center. Soap and then rubbing alcohol, clear it off with that, and it's ready to. So then I'm going to take my number 4 Deerfoot Stippler. I am going to stick it into the green, and this is the fresh foliage. I just have it all over the brush. I'm going to go ahead and tap it. I'm just doing more of a center, not trying to off-center or put it in a certain direction to indicate that it's actually leaning left, right, upside down, whatnot. It's just straight on. And so there is still a little blue showing, because when you put it on and you try to do a little bit with the heat gun, that's nice, but it won't always, it will not always cover it up completely. So then I'm going to take some yellow, put it in here like this, just lightly tapping it around, and I do want to add some white to it. But up here, I mean, you could put brown in it if you wanted, however you want to do it. And then I'm just going to kind of tap the green just to kind of blend it in a little bit. Then I'm going to take my stylus. I'm going to dip it into the moon yellow, and then I'm just going to go around it here and just start dotting it. Different size dots. Just keep going. You could do it with a different color, your center, you could even add some brown into it. You could keep it just all green. You could do different colors of green, shades I should say. Oh, thank you, it stopped. Again, I apologize for that. I need to probably come up with a better place to do my videos, but this is where my workroom is, and makes it convenient. Now you don't have to have as many dots as I do. I do like dots though. You can have more or less, however you want to do it. And then I'm going to take my palette here and do my greens. Whoops, I got my brush upside down. Alright, so basically dipping into each side, and I'm doing my blending strokes. Now if you want to add in a little bit of the yellow, I like to add yellow. I just like the color that it gives me when I do that. So I'm going to come up here to this one first of all, and I'm just going to do my little leaf and stem kind of deal. I'm going to come down here. Now if it's too transparent for you, again, just go back over it. You could even add some white into it, which I like that as well. White, because it's so opaque, tends to make your, the color a little bit more opaque if that's what you're looking for. Which again, that is what I'm looking for. And then I'm going to turn the bottle, come down here to these little guys, and basically do the same thing. I'm going to pull and then pull. There's various ways to connect flowers to the stems. You don't have to do it all this way. You can use a liner brush, a round brush. And also too, when I'm painting, I want you to understand that it's not necessary to actually have the same brushes I have. You can do these designs with whatever you have. Just adjust based on the brushes you have. I just don't like people to have to go out and spend a lot of money for something that it's a new hobby kind of deal. I just want you to understand there's a lot of other tools out there that can be used. You don't have to use what I'm using. Use what you already have, I guess is basically what I'm trying to say. Now I'm just kind of going over these just to maybe put in a little bit more color. And then, like I said, keep in mind, the thicker your painting is, the more durable it's going to be. I can't say that enough. Alright, so then I'm going to go in here and then just start doing some basic leaves. I tend to gravitate towards this style. I'm going to move my plate over. And I want to make sure too I don't have too much paint on my brush, because then it just gets all gunked up as far as the design goes. Again, I'm going to go over it again. Just keep it going like that. Make sure I'm on the camera still. Apologize if I float off. That is possible for me. And I'm just going to do another one. I think I've got probably too much paint. Let me get some of it off. The way I paint, I do end up with a lot of paint on my brush. And I don't necessarily want that. And then I'm just going to put my little stem through. Now with the colors I'm using right now, you're not getting a lot of variation. Alright, but if you want more contrast, you can certainly do that. But these are fine for me. Alright, so I'm just going to do a few more of this style of leaf. And I did add some white in here, so we'll be able to get a little more contrast, because like I said, I don't necessarily have to have all my leaves be the same, even color-wise. I have to load my palette back up with some green. like I said, you can, do different styles. You don't have to do this style. Or you can mix it up. I normally typically I put on most of my at least 2 styles of leaves. And I am going to put some more paint on here. I mean, typically speaking, that's what I do. I'm getting a nice color to add also to your palette when you're doing leaves is brown, because that'll tend to give you more of a olivey shade. I know, I'm making up words here I think, but an olive shade of green. Because another fun thing too is to do your leaves in different shades while you're painting. I'm just tapping this in. Yeah, painting on glass is a little bit different, or a lot different I think, than painting on just a straight piece of wood or paper, canvas, anything like that. Alright, so now I'm going to come back in here and then just start putting in some leaves. And like I said, on just these, I'm just doing the green and white on some of them. They're not going to all be green and white. Okay, so I'm using some green and white. I'm going to blend them in here a little bit better. And just doing that on some of them. Again, not all these leaves. And you could even throw in some blue into your leaves. That's pretty too. Alright. You can even pull out some little stems like that just to come in here and just do, if you want to do it like this. Again, just kind of like filler leaves. Pulling out. You get a different look depending on if you're pulling out or if you're pulling towards. Okay, and then like I mentioned before, I'm going to come in here, start putting some other leaves, and you can put some of the more roughly leaves into this part of it too if you want. It's up to you. These are just kind of randomly placed. They don't have to be placed in any certain order or certain location. And I'm just gently putting in the little bit that ties it to the stem. Again, we can put in another little pull. It comes out like that. I'm going to finish up with these petals over here because I do want to put a little bit more out to the side here. And even as far as creating leaves, if you want to be concerned about light source and how it's hitting, you can turn your leaves based on that. I don't spend too much time with that. I just put them however I want them. This is how I do it. But if you're one that wants it to be more realistic, then you can do it however you want. And I'm just looking here to see. Okay, well, let's do one here where I'm pulling it towards and just going like this. I'm going to make sure I have plenty of paint in my brush. And then just keep continuing on with it. Okay, and I just added a little bit of white to it. See how the difference is, like this coming out from it as opposed to going towards the stem. This definitely gives it a different look. And I can even come in here and just add some more to it too if I want to cover, good coverage, like that. Alright, and I have one other one over here, so I want to do it, and I think on that one I'm going to add a little more yellow, because again I want these to be different. I don't want them all to be the same. And these are more like filler. They're filler vines, filler flowers, that kind of thing. I go back in and add some more green to it, like that. Alright, so you have, a variety now. Like I mentioned before, if you want to add some blue into your green, that can be very pretty also. And maybe even make a few little flower leaves up here, just to give it a little bit of a different look. Or it's down here, I suppose, because it's at the bottom. And I'm going to add a little more white to it. Okay, like that. Now, another thing you can do just to add a little more interest, you could come back in with your dotting stylus and then maybe even do just some pulls like this. Not pulls, but alongside. And come alongside over here. That. Even come up here. And adding dots can be really just enough to give it, I'm going to leave it like that. I think it looks nice just like that. Alright. Alright, so there you go. We're finished for now. If you like this video, make sure you give me a big thumbs up. New to my channel, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And when you are finished watching the video, please share this on your social network with all your family and friends. Very easy to do. All you have to do is hit the share button that you'll see underneath the video. It'll give you the options, and there you go from there. Alright, until the next time, please stay safe and healthy, and thanks again for taking your time to view the video. And until the next time, you have a good one.